Hello students, welcome to Power Classes. So today we will going to revise chapter 6 and chapter 7. So let's start with chapter 6 first. Chapter 6 is a triangles chapter. So here what we'll do is first we'll revise two theorems and then I will show you one or two questions so that you can revise the topic. So the first theorem what it will say is, suppose ABC is a triangle, then if in a triangle a line is drawn parallel to the third side, that is this side, then the intersect and it is intersecting two other lines, then the ratios are equal. Suppose ABC is a triangle and you can see here EF is a line which is parallel to BC and it is intersecting the other two sides. Then we can conclude that if this line is parallel to BC, then we can conclude AE by EB is equal to AF by FC. Clear? So I'm just repeating once again. If in a triangle a line is drawn parallel to the third side, that is this side or any side, and it is intersecting other two sides, then their particular proportional ratios are equal, that is AE by EB equal to AF by FC. Similarly, we have theorem 6.2. What it says, just reverse, like suppose AXY is a triangle and it is already mentioned that ratios are equal, that is AB by BX and AC by CY are equal, then we can conclude that BC is parallel to the third side. Just we can say it is inverse of it. Like here they say that line is parallel and it is intersecting, then definitely the ratios are equal. At the same way, if ratios are equal, then a line is also intersecting the other two sides. So let's see, for 6.1 exercise, it's simple, that it will just kind of fill in the blanks. So you can just cross check with yourself, and most of them are direct answers. So just directly going to 6.2. So 6.2 questions are mostly like of a theorem basis where we need to prove some conditions, or else we find the respective value. So here you can see there is one triangle, that is ABC is mentioned, and it is clearly given that DE is parallel to BC, which is similar to this condition. EF is parallel to BC. So what we conclude here, AE by EB equal to AF by FC. So similarly we have to use the same condition here. It is mentioned DE parallel to BC. Then we can say that this ratio by this ratio equal to AE by EC. So here three values are already mentioned. So next we got to figure out the last value, that is X by 7.2 is equal to 1.8 by 5.4. 1.5.4 is 1 by 3, and 3 if we divide we will get 2.4. So X value is equal to 2.4. So in this way, if any parallel line to the third line it is intersecting the other two lines, then we need to follow theorem 6.1 or 6.2. Any method will find out the answer. Let's go to other type of questions. So here in this case, we can see there is a triangle, that is ABC, and they have mentioned DE. DE is parallel to AC and DF is parallel to AE. This line is parallel to AE. And they are asking to prove BF by FE is equal to BE by EC. Okay, so for this what we will do, first let's consider triangle ABE, because the first condition DE parallel to AC, right? So for that we use triangle ABE. So what is triangle ABE? So in this case we can see that DF is a parallel line to the third, that is AE line. So what the ratio, AD by DB is equal to EF by FB. You can say in this way if you want, it will be easy to understand. So this is a triangle and this is the parallel line to this one. So this by this is equal to this by this. The same way I am using this by this. Let's say AD by BD is equal to this one by this. AD by DB is equal to EF by FB. So this we can simply write it, if I write in reverse way, that is if I take this as just inverting it, FB can be written as BF, both are same. So BF by FE is equal to DB by AD. So just mention it as 1. Now consider triangle ABC. ABC. In this triangle, what is the parallel? D. Okay, here the parallel line is BD by AD. Okay, in this triangle. Okay, so this one is a parallel line. In triangle ABC, DE is a parallel line to AC. So in this case also similar, this by this will be equal to this by this, that is BD by AD, reverse I am doing. So BD by AD is equal to BE by EC. I'll just show it in this way because I explained you better. So this is the triangle and this is the parallel line. So this by this is equal to this by this. So you can conclude BD by AD is equal to BE by EC. So this is second line. Now using these two, we can conclude one is common, that is BD by AD, and here also BD by AD. So BE by FE is equal to BE by AC. Clear? So whatever might be the questions in triangles, it will be, we have to conclude only these two theorems. We can figure out the exact solution. I am referring only one question in this video because it is for the revision class. But once all the revision classes are done, I will start solutions for previous year's question papers. So in this case, I will explain each and every question there so that you can understand if any different type of questions are also coming. And last one is we have theorem 6.3 also. So what does it say is two triangles are similar if corresponding angles are same and the ratios of corresponding sides are equal. So for this, let me show you differently. So for this, what they are saying is, suppose there are two triangles ABC and DEF. What the similarity condition is, it's saying that corresponding angles, that is, suppose this is X, X, Y, Z, and this one I, J, and K. So this saying that angle X should be equal to angle I, angle Y should be equal to angle J, and angle Z is equal to angle K. If in a two triangles the corresponding angles are equal and the ratios of a corresponding sides, that is AB by DE is equal to BC by EF is equal to AC by DF. If this condition satisfies for two triangles, we can say that two triangles are similar. They are not equal, they are similar. Equality and similarity are different. Equal in sense both are exactly same, that same angles, same sides and same ratios and all. But where if it is similar, it is saying that angles are same but sides are proportional, not equal. This ratio by this ratio equal to BC by EF equal to AC by DF. So in this way we can say that if for two triangles to be similar, in the same way we have four other conditions, that is for congruency we have SSS, that is sides, three sides are equal, then it is congruent. SAS, that is two sides are equal and one angle is equal, then it is also congruent property. Then ASA as well as AAA. As I mentioned, these three, depending upon the questions, I will explain you once again. But right now, as it is for revision, you can just consider for similarity case, whereas for congruency, I will explain it once again. Okay, so let's move to the 7th chapter. So what the 7th chapter is? It's a coordinate geometry. It's kind of a bit easy because it is only based on two conditions, that is on X and Y parameters. We need to find the lengths, differences and so on, and then figure out whether it is pointing at a square, rectangle kind of things. So what is coordinate geometry is mainly it is pointing to the respective points, that is X and Y. Suppose we have, this is a graph and somewhere if you want this point or this point or this point or this point, so whatever it is, they will have two coordinates, that is X and Y. So based on if it is distance asked or graph is asked, or consider this as a polygon. So they might ask which type of polygon it is it square or rectangle or rhombus kind of things. So based on that we will figure out. So mostly in coordinate geometry it is based on the points. So what is the point in 2D? As we are doing in graph sheet, it is a 2D, that is two dimensional. So XY we say it, X we call it as abscissa and Y call it as ordinate. So the first formula in this chapter is distance between 2 points. Suppose as I mentioned, we have 2 points here, that is x1 y1 and second point is x2 y2. What is the distance between points is root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. This is very important formula because this is almost like a main formula for this chapter. The second, to find whether it is triangle or not, what is the condition is, if 3 points are mentioned, if they ask whether figure out whether it is these 3 points will make you a triangle, then the condition is three lines, the sum of two sides should be equal to the third side. For example, like let's take this triangle ABC, and if I say 1 and 3 and this is 2, okay, not 2 will not possible. Let's consider, we know the right angle triangle is 1 1 and this is root 2. Okay, so consider this is saying the sum of two sides should be equal to the third side. Consider any two sides. Suppose AB and BC will become 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, whereas root 2 will become 1.41. So AB plus BC is greater than AC. The same way, if I consider AC plus AB, what will become? AC is root 2, AB is 1, so 1.414 plus 1, that is 2.414, that is also greater than the other side, which is BC. The same way that the third case, AC, BC, okay, then what is left? BC plus AC. BC plus AC is greater than AB. BC is 1. BC is 1, then AC is root 2, so 1 plus root 2 again will become more than 2, and but it is only 1 the third side, so all three conditions are satisfying. If 3 points are present and the distance between two sides, if I mention, and the sum of two sides will be greater than third side, then definitely it is a triangle. Also, if we have know the angles, then sum of all three angles should be equal to 180. So in these conditions, we conclude that the points which are mentioned will form a triangle. Let's see for other polygons, that is for square. So for square, what is the condition is all four sides should be equal. That is, small a, consider A is a side and B is a side, C is a side, then all four sides should be equal. For A, B, C, D are lengths. Okay, for rectangle, parallel sides should be same, and the other point is one angle should be 90 degrees. Angles, all angles 90 degrees for square, whereas for rectangle all parallel sides are equal and all angles are 90 degrees. Excuse me. A side, A length of should be equal to C and B length should be equal to D. As for parallelogram, all sides are same and diagonals are perpendicular. Diagonals bisect also each other. This is rhombus. This is also similar to square, but angle is not 90 degrees, whereas for square the angle is 90 degrees. Sorry, this is rhombus as I mentioned. Parallelogram is this. A, B, C and D. Let me re-explain again. For parallelogram, parallel sides are equal An angle is not mandatory 90 degrees. If it is 90 degrees, then it will become rectangle. Similarly, we have other one which is called rhombus. For rhombus, all sides are equal, similar to square, but angle is not 90 degrees. If it is 90 degrees, then this will become square. But here diagonals bisect each other. That is this points, it's the midpoint. So all four you should remember, because if any question they might ask, if 4 points are present, whether it is triangle or square or rectangle or parallelogram or rhombus, you need to figure out accordingly. So let's go to the another type of question, that is the line is given and a point is present on the line. They're saying that find out the ratio, like how it is dividing. Let's just suppose if P, the point which I mentioned, is dividing AB in ratio k:1, then P can be figured out by using this formula, that is k into x2 plus x1 by k plus 1, comma k into y plus y1 by k plus 1. If they say that the ratio is not k:1 but it is m1 is to m2, then P have separate formula, that is m1 x2 plus m2 x1 by m1 plus m2 and m1 y2 plus m2 y1 by m1 plus m2. You have to remember these two formulas, but I suggest at least if you remember this formula also, you can do it, but if you remember both the formulas, that will be better for you. So let's see another question. So here you can see that 2 points are present in a line and a point that is minus 4,6 is dividing it. Therefore they're asking us to find the ratio. So I'm saying that let us assume that ratio is k:1. So because k:1 formula is a bit easier, so I'm using this, but it's not mandatory you only use this, you can also use this formula as well, but you have to consider the ratio as m1 is to m2. So let's assuming as k:1. So what is the P? I can use any of this to find the k value if you want, but whereas for point we need to find both the cases. So the first condition, P, is saying that P is equal to kx2 plus x1 by k plus 1. So P x value is minus 4, so minus 4 equal to k into x2. x2 is 3 plus x1 is minus 6 by k plus 1. If we cross multiply, 4 into k is minus 4k and minus 4 into 1 is minus 4 equal to 3 into k is 3k minus 6. So separating k values to one side and numbers to one side, we'll get 6 minus 4 equal to 3k plus 4k. 6 minus 4 is 2, so 3 plus 4k is 7k, k is equal to 2 by 7. So the ratio which I mentioned is k:1, so 2 by 7 is to 1. So 2 by 7 can be moved to the right side, the ratio will become 2:7. So in this way, if any line is given and 2 points are mentioned and they ask to find out P, then you have to use any of these formulas. If they ask for the ratio, then you have to use this method. Also, there is another type of question in this chapter which are mentioned like, for suppose they have provided you 3 points, A x1 y1, B x2 y2 and C x3 y3, and if they ask you to prove it whether it is collinear or not. Three points are said to be collinear if they are on the same line. So if to find out whether all three are same line, the condition is sum of any two sides should be equal to the third side. If this condition satisfies, sum of any two sides is equal to third side, then definitely we can say that all three are on the same line. If three conditions are not satisfying, then it doesn't, it is stating that it is not on the same line, that is those are not collinear. Okay, for triangle, square, rhombus, I have already explained. For triangle, so sum of two sides should be equal to the third side, and sum of all the angles, sum of angles should be equal to 180 degrees. Whereas for square, all sides should be equal and angle should be 90. For rectangle, parallel sides should be equal and angle should be 90. Whereas for parallelogram, parallel sides should be equal, angles not equal to 90. If it is 90, then definitely it becomes rectangle. Similarly for rhombus, all sides are equal and diagonals bisect each other and they are not 90 degrees. If it is 90 degrees, then this also becomes a square. So if you have any doubts regarding these chapters, please comment so that I can check and respond to you accordingly. If you like the video, please like, do subscribe for more videos. At the same time, if you have any doubts and if you want to keep an image and get the response, then you can join my Telegram Telegram group which I have provided in the description, so that there you can paste the image and I can directly answer it and I can respond for you. So we'll meet with the next exercise and the next chapters. Thank you.